Hola mis conejitos, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo Alicia. Hello my bunnies, how are you? My name is Allison, and today we are playing Nancy Drew, The Secrets of the Shadow Ranch. I do believe in the previous video, we finished some chores for Shorty in order to get a canteen of water. That way we can ride a horse to wherever we can, whenever we want. But in order to ride that horse, we need to learn some factoids about horses. That way Tex can let us ride. And Tex is the horse wrangler at this particular ranch. Okay, so let's see what info we can find out about in City Slicker's Guide to Ranch Horses. Book 1. The 21st century and they still use horses? Seriously? Yes, we do. We are America. We use horses for whatever reason we can. Ranches still exist. Alright, so we don't really need to read all of this, but you can if you want. I'm sure you can read it actually, considering. So the horses found on working cattle ranches are sometimes called cow ponies. Weird. They are not necessarily ponies. A pony is usually defined as a horse that's under 14.2 hands, 58 inches. Interesting. They are more correctly called stock horses and are most likely to be quarter horses, paints, or Appaloosas. The quarter horse was developed in the 17th century by... Okay, we don't really need to learn all of this. But it's cool information. Let's see. They were brought over from Europe, were compact, heavily muscled, even-tempered sprinters. Became an indispensable part of ranch life. That's cool. According to the American Quarter Horse Association, founded in 1940 to preserve the breed, a quarter horse can be just about any color, from sorrel to buckskin to blue roan, but can only have white markings on the face and below the knees. That's actually pretty cool information. I think I might need to write that down, because we do need to know how to tell the horses apart. That's a fact. The paint horse is a breed that, though it is distinguished by its beautiful markings, is not simply a color breed. I'm not surprised considering it's called the paint horse. To be officially recognized as a paint, a horse must be bred from horses registered with the American Paint Association. Wow. As a result, paint horses are similar when it comes to conformation. When it comes to coat patterns, however, no two paints are ever the same. That should be a good thing. The paints are categorized by 3 types of coat pattern: Tobiano, Overo, and Tovero. Cool! Dude, why won't he use that stuff as part of a question? That's super cool. Ooh, pretty! Appaloosa. I super like that name. Appaloosa. Was developed by the Nez Perce tribe of the inland northwest. It is unclear whether the Nez Perce established the breed using horses, which the Spanish introduced to North America in the early 18th century, or whether the... Dude, that is a run-on sentence. Shorten that for me, please. This is really cool information. Some Appaloosas are white with uniformly sized dark spots that create a leopard pattern. Cool! The skin on the nose and lips of an Appaloosa is a mixture of pigmented and non-pigmented skin. That makes sense. A little bit. Mules and other breeds. Mules can still be found on some ranches. The cross between a female horse and a male donkey. That is super weird. Didn't know that could happen. A mule is known for being sure-footed and unflappable. What does that mean? Unflappable? Okie dokie. Gaited horses such as Paso Finos, Peruvian Pasos, and Tennessee walking horses. Wow. That's it? Draft horses can still be found pulling wagons and sleighs, though it's usually to keep visitors amused rather than to get ranch chores done. Well, duh. I'm actually not surprised about that, because there's actually a college, a local college, I should say. Well, they're not technically a college, they're a university. It's a local university, not MU, mind you. It's a local university that's not MU, which is really cool, by the way. But every Christmas they use certain draft horses, which are super cool. Last year they had a breed that I was not familiar with. It wasn't a Clydesdale, but it certainly looked like one. I wish I could remember what breed it was. I remember asking. Bleh. That is so weird looking. As a result, feeding a horse a large quantity of food all at once, then making it wait hours for its next meal while tied up or restricted to a stall, can be a recipe for disaster. Things to consider when feeding a horse are its weight and the amount of work it is doing. All domesticated horses need hay. In general, a horse should eat between 1.5% and 3% of its body weight every day. Wow. This means a horse that weighs 1,000 pounds should be eating anywhere from 15 to 30 pounds of food a day. What the heck? Wait a minute, does that mean that applies to humans too? That would be interesting. That would be interesting. It's recommended that half its food ration should consist of good hay, which horses need to keep their digestive tract sound. This means that a horse weighing 1,000 pounds should be fed at least 7.5 to 15 pounds of hay a day. Wow. Oh, cool. And look, here's the difference of the stuff. Okay, so those things that I thought were pellets are oats. Okay. And of course that mixture was corn and soybeans. Soybean meal. Okay. It all depends on how much work the horse is doing, how much hay it is getting, and how well it digests and absorbs the chosen source of grain. Okay, well this makes sense of why the 3 horses have different portions of different things. Improper feeding can result in medical conditions that are very painful and potentially fatal to the horse, such as colic and founder. In a horse, colic can be simply described as abdominal pain. Yikes. This pain can be due to excess gas or to an intestinal blockage, both of which can be caused by feeding a horse the wrong food or too much of the right food. Signs of colic in its early stages may include listlessness and a lack of appetite. As its condition worsens, the horse may roll, repeatedly lie down and stand up, sweat, and kick its abdomen. Yikes. Call the veterinarian, don't give the horse food or water, and keep it walking if it keeps trying to roll. Wow. There's still more medical information about the horse. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Founder occurs when the tissue between foot bone and the wall of the hoof swells. That's gotta hurt. What color is that horse? Ooh. I hope he doesn't ask any questions about this. Oh no, I do remember him asking about this. Oops. Ooh, Palomino. Wow, there are a lot of different colors for horses. I mean, okay, that's what roan looks like. That's a pretty color. A chestnut roan is sometimes called a strawberry roan due to its reddish pink color. A black roan is sometimes called a blue roan. Oh, okay. I know that coloring. Wow, so that's what they're called? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I've actually seen a blue roan before, and they are super gorgeous. Alright, so we are gonna... Oh, wait, did we take... No, we didn't. Okay, we're taking this, because this is Mrs. Raleigh's hat that Tex said we could use. Oh, wait, there's one more thing we forgot to look at. This. Oh my gosh. Everything you need to know about a horse is this. It's got everything about the different parts of a horse. So there's the throat latch, of course the muzzle, nostril, face, forehead. The ears are called poll. Weird. Loin is here, point of a hip, croup, buttock. The flank is the lower part of the hip, it looks like. Hock is the back knee. Okay. Cannon is the forearm, the forelegs. Coronet. Okay. And I think there's also a poster over here that describes the hoof. Where is the horse's frog? It's right here. It's in the middle of the hoof. Okay. Alright, so I think we're ready.
Need something?
May I go riding now?
Yep, if you got everything I told you need, and you think you know your stuff when it comes to horses, old Bob's all yours.
Talk to you later.
Yay!
Just stay out of trouble.
Alright, so now that he said that, we can take this. And I wanna... Go figure. Alright, so we go over here. We place the...
Tex would have a cow if I rode bareback.
It would be a lot of fun, though. It hurt, but it'd be a lot of fun. Always cinch up. Oh, gosh dang it, I did not mean to do that.
Come on, Bob.
There we go. Oh, duh.
I'm ready.
Ready for some questions?
I think so.
I think so.
Where's the horse's hocks?
Horse's hocks.
On its back legs.
That's 1 out of 10.
Yes.
Ask me something else.
Where's the horse's frog?
On the bottom of its hoof.
2 out of 10. Got a long way to go.
Ask me something else.
How tall is a horse that's 15 hands?
15 hands. Well, we know 14 is 40.
55 inches.
Nope.
Ask me something else.
What kind of a horse is a Paso Fino?
A Paso Fino is
A gated horse.
3 down, 7 to go.
Ask me something else.
How can you tell if a horse is colicking?
It keeps lying down, then standing up.
That's 4 right.
Yay.
Ask me something else.
What's the difference between a bay and a chestnut?
Oh, that's one I did not look. Bay
A
has
bay
black
has
points.
black points.
That's 5. You're halfway there.
Ask me something else.
What tribe bred the first Appaloosas?
The Nez Perce.
Bingo. That was number 6.
Ask me something else.
What part of a horse is most likely to be hurt when it founders?
Founders.
It's feet.
7 down. You're in the home stretch.
Ask me something else.
What part of the saddle should you always check before you head out on the trail?
The
cinch.
cinch.
8 right. Just 2 to go.
Ask me something else.
He
What is
sounds
a mule?
excited. A mule. Female
The
horse and male
offspring
donkey.
of a female horse and a male donkey.
This here's your final question.
I'm ready.
How tall is a horse that's 15 hands?
15 hands. I swear. Okay. Oh, I think it's 5 feet.
Well, you answered all the questions right. And I can tell by the way you sit you ain't gonna go falling off for no good reason. So you're free to ride outside the corral. Just don't go galloping all over the place. 'Cause if you bring old Bob back all hot and sweaty, you can kiss your cowgirl days at Shadow Ranch goodbye.
And I have yet to see a death scene about that. So,
Okay, Bob. What do you say we do some sightseeing?
yeehaw! Woohoo! And we can only go to Mary's, unfortunately. But we will be able to go to different places, which I am super psyched about. Ooh. Awesome. Ooh, what's this?
That trunk looks really old.
I wonder. EH and AH. Doves. Wait, would this belong to the Humbers? Or is it Hubbard? I forgot what the last name was. No, that's the Petroglyph puzzle. They fit! Now I just need to figure out what the code is. Good grief. Petroglyphs of the Southwest. Ooh. Seriously, the hieroglyphics are mentioned? Okay. I actually really like the background music right here. It's different. I think that's electric. These are all different kinds of petroglyphs. This is super cool. I want to know what that first one was saying. It said, nor should the images be confused with hieroglyphics, the ancient Egyptian system of writing in which pictorial symbols represented specific ideas or sounds. Okay, that's pretty cool. And what's over here? Ooh, pictures of the history. Ah, look at that! I bet these are actually pictures from our modern time. I wouldn't be surprised, really. We also deal in local antiques. Ask for details. That's a really cool looking kettle.
Tuning
Or is that a
forks.
teapot?
Cool.
Ooh, tuning forks. I can already spell a word with that. F-A-C-E. What does that spell? Face. Wait, those belong to Francis. Ooh, I'm betting we're gonna be needing those soon. Something's missing here. One of these things just... never mind. Wow. That's really small font for you guys, and I don't know if I want to read it all. I mean, it's basically... What does it say? Arizona's petrified wood. Oh. I think this is just description of what petrified wood is. A detailed description of it. But basically, petrified wood is like really old wood. To be more specific, wood that has been on Earth for a super, super long time that it turns to stone. I actually do have a piece of petrified wood somewhere in my apartment, and oh my gosh, I use it. It's so nice. It's so cool looking, and I actually kind of use it to help balance my chakra. I'm not one of those people, but it sometimes helps. It's because It's because I'm an empath. And I think because my empath, like, it screws up my emotional needs. I need to make sure that it's good and cleansed, otherwise I'm going to be stressed, like, all the time. Which is happening with work. I need to change jobs. Charlena Purcell! That's what she looks like? Okay. Well, her interactive ends up putting Charlene Purcell in a game, and she looks nothing like that. Highly successful romance novelist Charlene Purcell will be touring the Southwest this summer. A meticulous, tireless researcher, Miss Purcell knows more about what went on in 19th century Arizona than do most historians. Invite her to speak in front of your favorite organization and hear firsthand how she puts together her wonderfully detailed, emotional-rich works of fiction. Book her today. Ooh, we can actually call her.